All right, it's Thursday night. Let's take a look at the markets. A lot of things happened today. Yesterday, after yesterday's big loss for me, I took a little bit of a break. That's what you do, by the way, when you have a loss or when you have a series of losses. Walk away for a while and trade smaller. Ease back into it because you don't want a revenge trade. So I mostly watched, did some trading. Um, but look what happened. It did another up day. Now, technically, this is still on my trend line. It's still a down. However, as I mentioned yesterday, because how impressive this candle was, a 4% gain from bottom to top, I didn't want to short the market. I wanted nothing to do with that until I got more signals. And now here we are above the 20-day moving average and above the 200. Is this a sort of double bottom thing where we break through this and keep going? I don't think so, but the direction of the market is headed that way, at least the last few days. But let's take a look at something that was really interesting today, silver, because this thing went up 4% and it usually doesn't do that. So let's look at the technicals. Yeah, we're above 30 now on futures, and we're up a little bit after hours. So beautiful move. Now, as you know, I've been buying under 30 just about every day, just adding to that reserve, my reserve area, and just adding a little bit. So I'm very happy about this move, especially after yesterday. This is a nice thing for me. As far as news goes, nothing to speak of really. This morning there was the ECB cut interest rates. That was pretty much expected, and I think everyone is expecting that the Fed will do the same in not just one interest rate cut, but 50 basis points. And I think that's what's driving the market. Others say it's NVIDIA. The conference just ended, the NVIDIA conference. The CEO spoke and said that there's a huge demand for these chips. And right about then, that rally started and it just kept going and it hasn't stopped really since. So it could be one of those factors. It could be neither of those factors. It could be technical, short squeeze, whatever. I really don't know in this case. A lot of times I can tell you what's happening, but the strength of that thing was not normal. So right now, the market is still bullish. The Nvidia, though, is right at that 20-day moving average, which is interesting because, as I said before, the Nasdaq is actually over that. Perhaps that means there'll be a little bit of room coming back down. Here's the S&P, also over the 20-day moving average, but not quite at my 20-day channel yet. So this is kind of a tricky one. I'm going to have to watch. Maybe I'll go to the smaller time frames and trade it that way because I can't really trade based on the daily candle right now. Perhaps just too much emotion after yesterday's loss. So that's where I'm at. I'm still trading small. Probably will continue to do that tomorrow, and I'll start fresh next week. Since there's not a lot happening for the rest of this week, let's take a look at next week, which will be big. This is the expectations for the Fed. 25 basis points, 57%, 50 basis points, 43%. So there is a good chance you'll get a 50 basis point rate cut from the Fed, and that would move the markets for sure. I think a 25 basis point cut would actually disappoint the markets, and we'd get a sell off. Taking a look at the Atlanta Fed, we're just sort of chugging along. The estimate right now for Q3 is 2.5%. So that is not bad at all. And again, this is sort of backward looking data. It doesn't look forward. I think things will be actually a little bit worse or quite a bit worse. But this is where we're at. And perhaps that's one other reason why the market is not concerned at this point because our GDP looks pretty good. So I'll just follow up with one more thing tonight, looking at silver again. This is paper silver, SLV, and you can see that nice big candle. And it went up much more than gold. It was up 4.4%, while gold was up 2.08%. And again, the reason is when you have these bullish swings, people buy silver. It's more of a risk currency. It's more of an economic thing, an industrial metal, where gold is not. Gold is more stable in general. Gold, by the way, did break through an all-time record here. So we're moving on gold. It's moving a little bit slower as the market goes up. When the market crashes, silver will come down faster than gold. So that's how I look at it. And I've been pretty on with these two metals so far. At least that's one thing that's been consistent with my accounts. So I'll leave it there for tonight, and we'll do another video if something comes up tomorrow.